Hi, I'm Bob from Plastic Pipe Shop, and in this video we're going to have a look at the furniture or display kind of fittings which we stock and supply here in the UK. Now, these fittings are a bit different from normal pipe work in that they're really designed to make frames and supports and structures rather than handle fluids going through them, although if you glue the pipe in, that they will still handle fluids going through them. So in a normal pipe system, for example, there's no way you would find a fitting like this because you just wouldn't use it in a pipe system with a 5-way fitting like that. The range of fittings we have which differ from normal pipe systems, we have 3-way elbows which are great for corners of structures. We have 4-way elbows which, after your corner of the structure, if you've got another support further along and you want another pipe or tube coming off and going down, we've got that as well. If that's going to go in the middle of a cube structure, for example, that's going to take a pipe going down or a pipe going up, or it could be a pipe out at the side as well as a structure going around. So it's really fairly endless what shapes you can make with these, as well as the more standard T's, crosses, elbows and 45s, which you'll find in a more standard pipe system. There are a few other special fittings as well. So we've got, for example, a slip T. Now, as you can see, if we look on the inside of here, this T is actually blocked off on the inside, so there's absolutely no use at all for fluid to run through and then come down here, because it's just not going to go through at all, because it's completely blocked off inside there. What a slip T is for is it slides over the pipe. So if, for example, we have this here, which is coming out of our structure, and we wanted a pipe coming up at an angle, we can put our slip T here, have a pipe coming up at a nice angle here. Some people use them vertically and use them as hinges for doors. If for example, if they're making a polytunnel type structure or something like that out of these kind of pipe and fittings. So the slip T is really handy for getting those awkward angles which you need. And once it's locked into place with another slip T at the other end, it's not going to move out of position at all. Another fitting which is an unusual one to find in pipes and fittings is a table cap. So a table cap is what it says on the tin. It's a cap which goes on the end of the pipe, and if you want to screw a small disc on top to use as a table, these are used a lot in outdoor pools as small bar tables and drinks tables, because it's all plastic, nothing's going to rust on it at all, so it's always going to look good outside. It's easy to wipe clean, it's completely waterproof. So a lot of this kind of stuff is used in outdoor pool systems, and these table caps in particular are used for that. We can, if we want, invert the table cap, and we can screw it into the deck, and we can use it as a bit of a foot to hold something in place as well. Whilst we're on about screwing things in place, we've got this fitting, which is a kind of end cap which has a hole in the middle. Now, the primary purpose of this is to take a caster inside. These kind of pipes and fittings are used a lot in the medical industry, again because they're non-rust, they're very hygienic. We also supply the pipe and fittings in different colours. So sometimes in one part of a medical facility they'd want to have all white fittings, in another part they might want to have all red fittings, in another part all yellow fittings, and that highlights really quickly if there's any cross-contamination, because you shouldn't be seeing a white trolley in a red area or a yellow trolley in a red area and vice versa. So these simply go into here and they push in and they lock in, and that gives you a caster which you can then make a trolley out of and you can run around. If you wanted to bolt something really hard to the wall or the floor, you can use this fitting rather than using a table cap. Table cap only has 3 small screw holes in it, and so it's maybe not that rigid if you really want a good hard and fast fitting. It's also got lots of little bits around, so it's maybe not as attractive. If we use this fitting, which is the caster cap, it's a nice really solid fitting. We can use an M8 bolt all the way through, so we can use a through bolt into concrete or into block work. We can then bolt this down into that, so it's a really rigid fitting. Then our pipe simply goes over the top and it pushes in, and that gives us a really solid fitting, either on a wall or even coming down from a ceiling, or if we're coming up from the floor. 2 more fittings, again a little bit unusual, well three more fittings really. We've got the standard end cap, which in pipe systems just goes over the end there. Has a nice flat top there, so we can screw things into it if we want. We also have what's called a dome cap. A dome cap is designed to go inside the pipe. Now you need to be careful here, because for these systems this will only go in this type of Schedule 40 pipe because of the wall thickness. If you try and use any other kind of pipe, the wall thickness is going to be different, and that dome cap either isn't going to fit or it's going to be too loose. So that goes into the end there and gives you a nice smooth finish on the end, a really pleasing finish on the end of your pipe. Last fitting we're going to look at is a jump cup, which is this little odd item here. This is used for making, as it says, making jumps for ponies, for pets, even being used for pigs and sheep. Slides over the pipe. It's only available in a 1 1/4 inch size, so it slides over the pipe, and then actually it doesn't move on the pipe if you push it down, but then if you twist it and move it up, it'll move again and then locks in place. So our other pipe just sits in the small concave part here, and your jump pipe just sits on top, so as soon as anything jumps and touches that pipe, then the pipe will fall off. Just one last word about the actual pipe itself. We talked about all the fittings. One last word about the pipe itself. In the UK we have lots of different specifications of pipe. We have pressure pipes, which are different size to drainage pipes, which are different size to plumbing pipes. All these fittings are manufactured for the North American market, so we need to use North American sizes of pipe in it. If we try and use some cheap plumbing pipe, which we find in DIY stores in the UK, it's not going to fit. It's either going to be too big or it's going to rattle around inside your fitting. Okay, so you need to use the proper spec of pipe. This is Schedule 40 inch size of pipe. It's available on our website. I'm not just telling you this to make you buy our pipe. Believe me, if you try and use any other kind of pipe which you buy in DIY stores and things here, or even plumbers merchants, it's not going to fit these fittings because it's not North American sizing. There's other videos on the individual fittings which you'll be able to find around our website and also on our YouTube channel. And if you've got any queries at all, or you're not sure about pipe sizing or anything like that, feel free to give our office a call. Thanks for watching. Bye.